what are some new ideas and new tactics that they're using out in the field to try to address some of these issues?
So, interesting question. We asked that same question to our membership not long ago, and we're a little bit surprised that the answers were. We expected some fairly innovative thinking, but their answer was, we're going to do the same thing we've always done because in this community, that's what our readers want. I didn't expect that as an answer. And I found that the surveys that talk about how 80% of your revenue comes from 20% of your customers and that sort of mentality, they're thinking the same way. We know where our revenue comes from, and that's where we're going to get the most growth in the future is from who we know. And so we're going to keep doing what we know. But the newspapers in the smaller markets have to embrace technology and have to begin to move into these new areas of delivering content in a different way. And they know that. And maybe they're lagging a little bit because of investment or because it's up to the publisher to figure it out on his own. Doesn't have a big staff, but they're going to get there.
Okay. And these weekly papers, are they, you say small communities. Do you mean small, the way Westlake and Austin is small, or do you mean the way, Terrell, Texas, or Fredericksburg is small? Are they?
Actually, Fredericksburg, that's a large one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a 9 or 10,000 circulation newspaper. But you move on out to Ingram. Ingram's probably a two-person operation, and but it's a community that nonetheless has a bunch of readers that want that content, and it all comes back around. Those little newspapers are going to last forever, it seems to me. And so you ask also about how they're embracing certain, some of the trends that the big papers are doing, like content sharing, whatnot. I don't really see that happening, but I have had some recent conversations with some folks that are interested in possibly joining with some of their daily counterparts in delivery, much like what you see Dallas delivering Fort Worth papers in Dallas County and Fort Worth delivering Dallas papers in Fort Worth or in Tarrant County. Move out 2 or 3 counties, and if you have a daily newspaper that's delivering, I think some of the weeklies are going to begin to look at options like that, because an issue that they're facing that I think is a bigger issue than the dailies is postal delivery, because the Postal Service has sort of abandoned its desire to have on-time delivery for newspapers. And if you're in a small market and you're delivering through the Postal Service because you're in a rural area that it's not physically possible to have carriers deliver that, they're pretty well subject to whatever the Postal Service does. And if the Postal Service delays delivery by a day or 2 days, it has a huge impact on that newspaper. The new initiative for the Postal Service would be one where all mail goes to a central sorting facility and then comes back to the same market, which means you're going to lose a couple of days of delivery time, and that's going to be very detrimental to newspapers. And in looking for that eventuality, the newspapers are saying we're going to have to come up with a different way to deliver in these rural communities, and so they're looking to some of their counterparts, or maybe they're going to be the ones that do the delivery for their counterpart.